You are enough. A friend said that to me when I was 36 years old, and I immediately burst into tears. And then I went right back to work because hearing it and believing it turned out to be two completely different things, and it took me years to understand why. If you're someone who can't stop achieving, who feels like you're only worth what you produce this week, I want to tell you where that comes from because I don't think it's a personality trait. I think it's something we learn. When I was in a subject in a documentary called Dilemma of Desire, which I was so honored to be part of, I became friends with the producer and filmmaker Maria, who was a few decades older than me. I was about 36 or 37 at the time. I had been taking the Crave Airstream across America, quite literally. Like I was towing that thing from San Francisco to New York, and I think we met somewhere in Chicago, and she said something to me that just stopped me in my tracks and brought me to tears. She said, I don't know what your parents have said or not said to you, but I want you to know that you are enough. You don't need to do anything else, accomplish another thing to be worthy. You are more than enough just the way you are. This was incredible to me. I immediately felt tears well up in my eyes. I let out this huge sigh of relief and exhaustion. And here's the thing, then nobody tells you about when someone suddenly gives you permission to rest. Like you don't know like what to do with it. Like no one has ever done that. So I didn't know how to stop. And this was when COVID hit. The world had stopped and I could not. But I did start to reevaluate everything. So I want to back up because you don't get to be 36 years old like that by accident. Up until that moment, I realized my only worth came from doing things, accomplishing things. And that's because I came from an immigrant family. We came here from Taiwan. We did not come from money. I was working in a flea market since I was in my teens, every single weekend until I went to college. My family has always been in survival mode, and that was my default mode. I was always working. It's the only thing I take comfort in, and it's a thing I feel confident in doing. And I remember a quote I latched onto in my 20s. It was, I think, from a fashion editor that said, "Work has always rewarded me." And it did. It helped me move up in the world of design. And that's the part that makes it so hard to see because the strategy worked. Every time I pushed harder, I got something back, a better job, a better project, some recognition. So why would you ever stop? Even though that was driving me to an eating disorder and depression. But on the outside, I looked fine. Keep in mind, I had not been diagnosed with AuDHD. I didn't know how my brain worked. I was easily overwhelmed and I needed to take breaks and I needed to decompress, but I didn't know that. So I didn't. And then I was constantly breaking down, then recovering, and then performing, and then breaking down, and then recovering, and just this cycle just didn't stop. And here's why I'm telling you this instead of keeping it to myself. I see a lot of women struggling with exactly this, pushing themselves so hard, harder than they need to, working past the point of reasonable return and still feeling behind. And these are accomplished women. They've built things and they still can't see their own worth or embody the confidence that they clearly have earned. And I sadly know that look. I've had that look for over 20 years. But now I am actively trying to be better to myself. I ask myself one question before I take anything on. Am I doing this because of what I'm afraid of if I don't? Like, will people think less of my abilities? Or because I actually want to do this because it will bring me enjoyment? It will add something to my life. See, this is the same thing. Same hours, same output, just completely different perspectives. And I'm not going to pretend that I've solved it because I haven't. I still catch myself. But the difference is that I catch myself. And now I'm figuring this out from not a place of lack, but from a place knowing that I am enough. And it has changed how I am moving forward. I love having older women as friends. Maria knew what she was handing me that day. She handed me permission to relax and to know that my worth is not tied to my productivity. My value as a human being is not measured by my output. So let me hand this to you. Does this resonate with you? I want to know, because do you feel the same way? Like, tell me in the comments, when did you first felt that your worth was tied to your output? And have you stopped feeling this way? Let me know.